Welcome back, everybody, to Gulch episode 17. And in this episode, we're going to be finishing off our Mexican area. Yes, we have one more building to make, and it is that long awaited restaurant building. I said I wanted to have a restaurant in this area. I think since the beginning of this area, actually, when we were working on that train station, I said that this area would really entail a restaurant, and I kind of gave it the influence that I was going to have is going to be Mexican themed. So we're actually putting a burrito bonanza in here, and then another drink shop. I think it's Gulpy Soda, but that won't come till a lot later down into the episode. But yep, that's what we're doing. We're making this restaurant, the long-awaited restaurant. And this really, I don't know if it fits into the theme that we kind of got going on here. It's the Mexican theme, of course, but it's brick building and it's a huge box. So I don't know if it fits, but at the same time, when you zoom out and you're on the other side of the train station and you're looking in towards this area, it really does kind of come up over the train station, and so you can get a little glimpse of it, and then over that is the roller coaster, and it just kind of brings everything together, and there's not really any gaps or anything like that. And I really think that's what kind of brings this whole area together and kind of finishes area off. So in the next episode, we're going to be moving on to the other side of the path across from the train station, the exit side of that. If you want to say. And we got a good plan for that, so I can talk about that later on in the episode. But for right now, I should probably tell you guys what's going on in the video currently. So we have our big or brick box that we made, and there's a bunch of archways on one side, and that's just because I wanted it to be accessible on the outside so people can sit and watch the roller coaster go roaring by and take pictures and all that. And we put the little photo attraction point in later on in the episode as well, so people will actually go back there, not just to sit down. And then we're going to be spamming down some benches in there and all that. But we have the big box basically laid out, and right now it's that green color, but I promise it does not stay that color. It's going to be this more actual brick color. We just changed it there. So that's the actual color of the building, and the inside I actually decided to do like a dual tone wall, I guess. I think that's what it would be called. Basically, it's on the grid, and it's on the exact opposite side of the grid. So this one's actually the modern wood, and I really didn't want this whole building to be brick. I thought it would be too oppressive, so I just went with this modern wood, and I think it fits really well into this building. When you walk in, you still get that brick on the back wall just because it's those archways, and you saw me there. I tried to put in the modern one there, but it really just didn't work. So we just left it brick, and I thought it was okay. So that's kind of the idea there. And I just, as I said, I don't want it to be too protruding, and it's too much brick for one building, I think. So putting the wood in there kind of breaks it up and all that. But now we are kind of done with the exterior of the building. Besides the roofing, we kind of got the layout for it done. We got the shop in there, and we got all the walls in. So now this is a little bit of exterior work. We're going to be putting in or making a makeshift planter practically. So you can see I made the little brick little wall, and now we're putting in the dirt, and then we'll be doing the same thing to the other side, and then there will be another step down which we'll be using the in-game planters for. And in the end, it really looks good. It does go through a couple of iterations, and there will be a couple of cuts where some things will get changed, like right there. The planter should be done. The plants aren't in, but you can see the actual outline is done for that. And now we're moving on to roofing. So I went with the regular brown roofing. Actually, it comes in the menu as the orange type. I don't know what it's called, but I changed the color to a more brown, and it's a shingled roof. So I didn't really know where I wanted to go for this roofing. I didn't want it to be like act like a huge box. I wanted it to be a little bit different, and something that I've been kind of getting in the last couple episodes was scale, although this building really is not to scale. It's humongous. With that being said, though, I think from a distance it looks way better just because it kind of blends the roller coaster and the Mexican area all together. Even though that the roller coaster is technically part of the Mexican area, it's kind of on the other side of the bay and it doesn't really seem like it is. So that's kind of the idea there. And one of the biggest struggles that I actually had with this building was trying to get these walls to actually connect to the roofs because I decided to do something really complicated for the roofs. I wanted it to kind of bring out the blockiness. So I guess that's the wrong saying there. The building's already a block, so I wanted the roof to kind of have some different architecture in it, just to kind of get it a little bit more exciting, I guess. So we got some slanted roofs, we got some extra roofs, we got all that stuff. And we're gonna be putting in some wall decorations, some borders, some windows, some plants, all that good stuff is going to be coming later on in the episode. But for right now, we got to do the finishing up of the wall work. And this is a little bit of a tedious process. It's just a lot of placing wall, but you have to make sure that it's in the right place. Otherwise, it'll be going through the roofing and it'll be like clipping and it won't work. And probably the biggest part, like the hardest part for this whole walling, I guess, was doing that big when the big slant is where it slants frontwards. And we'll be working on that, I think, as the last thing. But that was really hard just because I couldn't get the slope to go right in. And I think I actually skipped over it on the front because we just went through it and I just kind of placed the walls down. But the roof actually goes up even further, and I tried to cover all that and it really didn't work. And another struggle that I ran into in this building was padding. So I kind of ran off task from our little roofing and walling job just to try and fix this because as I was roofing, I noticed that the building was way off center, and you can see that right there. It doesn't look right. So I decided to try and fix the padding in Planet Coaster, which is a super hard thing to do. So eventually, we just had a cut there. I decided to kind of scrap all the wooden padding that we had, and I just kind of rearranged some things and we kind of just did it. And that's the end result after a good while of trying to do it. But then once you put in all the padding, you got to make sure that it's connected to the shop. So that's what we're doing there. And now pretty much the padding is set. So we should be good with padding. Now we're going to be fully focusing on this building. So now we still have to do the back walls, I guess. The topping for the back walls still needs done, and these pillars are getting adjusted right now. There's really just a lot of different things that got to go into this building just because I want it to look at least a little bit complete, I guess you could say, or a little bit more detailed than some of the other buildings in the park. So this is one of the things that we got to do is do this fine detailing, and even more finer detailing will be coming later on in the episode. But as we are working on this, we just kind of did a cut. We're going to be doing some really fine detailing now, actually. So it's going to be some border work, some windows, and then we'll go into some planting. But as we're doing this, I can probably talk about what's going to be coming in some future episodes. So as I said at the beginning of the episode, this is going to be the last video for the Mexican themed area that we have in Golden Gulch. So now we're going to be moving across the path into the Mexican train area. And this area is actually going to be or it's not going to be the Mexican train area. It's across that, and it's basically going to be a kind of desert, I guess. We are in the desert biome, but it's actually going to be a true desert. We have the village, we have the Mexican area. So this one's going to be the desert. It's kind of like one of those things where you imagine the tumbleweeds coming around and you got the ranches and all that stuff. So I envisioned a car ride or something where it just kind of takes you through that with the teepee huts and all that stuff. And then the train ride will obviously be going back through there, kind of wrapping around. We'll have our coaster, and I won't spoil what type of coaster that I have going on for it, and the water ride, which is going to be a little bit more complicated than the other two. We've done the river rapids and the log flume. That doesn't really leave too much more like exciting water rides. So I have a card up my sleeve, an ace up my sleeve for this one. We'll see how it goes, but I really am excited about it. I have a good idea for what I want to do. Although I don't know if I want to put in a flat ride for this area. I don't know if it'll fit. I don't know if it will just work for the area in general. So we'll see what goes on there. And then that should pretty much be the area as a whole. I don't know if we have anything else going on. So if you guys have any ideas on what you guys want to see in the next area, make sure to let me know. And then, of course, this actually will be marking the halfway point of this whole series. So, as I said, there were going to be four, like very early in the series, there are going to be four actual areas. So we have the Mexican area, the village area. Those two are going to be complete by the end of this episode. So now we're going to have two more. So yeah, we're about halfway done with this whole series, which is kind of crazy. We're on episode 17. So mathematically, we would be on episode 34 by the end of the series, which is a lot of episodes. But based on my current like amount of progress that I've been making, I've been putting a lot of work into my episodes now. Compared to when I first began, I really wasn't doing that much. Now I feel like I'm getting a lot done, a lot more done. So that's something that's kind of you gotta factor in. So I don't anticipate it to be too long, especially not 34 episodes. Maybe 30. Maybe 30 is a good goal. I know it's a little bit early to kind of start talking about the end of this project, but we're almost halfway done, which is great. We've we're doing good work on this project, I think. And as I said in the last episode, I'm actually thinking about a name change that's just kind of popped up in my head right now. So I wanted to kind of blurt it out there. So make sure to let me know what you guys think if you guys have any suggestions for a name change. As I said in the last episode, I don't think Golden Gulch is going to really fit this park anymore based on the direction we're kind of going. We have the Mexican area, the village area, and I keep saying what areas we have and what areas we're kind of getting. Although the fourth area, I'm still keeping a secret. You guys will still figure that out once we get there, and that area is actually going to be a really big challenge, I think, for me. So we'll see what goes on there, but I don't know. I don't know if Golden Gulch is a good name, so I will be kind of think of things. And if you guys have any suggestions, make sure to let me know. But now we are getting pretty close to the ending of this episode. We're working on the gardening out front, as I said, and I wanted this to on the opposite of what we had going on over in the Aztec part of the Mexican area. I wanted this to be really laid out, really nice. So we got our like it's basically in layers. We got the bottom tier with some green and then it pops of yellow, and then the top tier is outlined in orange with some purple, and then a little tree bush, and that's pretty much it. So actually, that's pretty much it for this episode. So, as we put the finishing details onto this building and the signage and all that stuff, one thing that I might need to do is some lighting. I don't know. Might have to go back and do that for probably the whole park. But basically, we are done with this. We had to put some benches in. Totally forgot about that. Then we did the green benches. I don't know if I like green. It kind of just ruins the vibe. So I might go and change the colors or change the benches entirely. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe they do fit just because they look so jank. But that's pretty much what we're done for this episode, practically. We're going to be doing some finishing touches, as I keep saying. I'm kind of just stalling now because I kind of ran out of things to say, and we're really fast. Like, we're approaching that ending really fast. And now I got myself repeating myself and all that stuff. So it's just kind of getting mind boggling when I get to this end and I don't have much to talk about anymore. But here's the signs. We got the Burrito Bonanza sign, and we're going to be putting in our Gulpy Energy sign. So that's pretty much it for this episode, as I keep saying. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Golden Gulch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We are halfway through the series. So we're still going strong. We got another half to go, and I'm really excited to work on a new area. I will say that this area was getting a little bit old near the end of this video. I was kind of getting like, oh my gosh, can I please move on? So happily we are moving on now. So thank you guys so much for watching one more time. Oh, one thing though, we're putting in an entertainer. I'll talk about that later though. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to have an amazing day.